Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the Real Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co host,
Caden Green.
and together we are
The Real Bros.
Caden, what are we talking about today?
I don't know. I know it's of Jurassic proportions.
Very parkish.
Yeah.
It's almost like we've done this 3 times.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
We've done it once
You're right. We skipped over a movie.
because, as far as I'm concerned, that movie doesn't exist.
Oh, really?
Because it doesn't to me because I've never seen it.
What?
We are discussing Jurassic Park 3 in case you didn't catch on to our little stupid skit there.
That was totally written.
And I have never seen the second Jurassic Park, which is
Lost World.
That's what I was thinking.
For the longest time, that one was my favorite one.
Right.
But after rewatching them recently with Carly, and then I rewatched the first one with you, I realized that I just love the first one more, and it just has a special place in my heart.
They're very good movies, but
They are.
no matter what I did, I could never find like any kind of physical copy of The Lost World.
Hmm.
And trust me, I was trying to find it because like that's the only movie I haven't seen out of all of them.
And when I got into them when they were right after Jurassic World came out. And so that was when all the DVDs and all the Blu-rays were being put out on the shelves of Walmart and everything.
Ah, so you're a poser.
Kind of.
You only started liking them because of Chris Pratt.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I realized that Jurassic World was only my third favorite out of all of them.
Well, all right. What would you say is your favorite Jurassic movie?
Jurassic Park.
The first one?
Yes. Now, it's very hard to rank them, especially when I've only seen the last one once, and I barely paid any attention of it because the story wasn't existent.
It was just all over the place. Me and you went to see that in theaters, right?
That was actually me and Carly's first date because it was a double date. Remember? Yeah. Caden is trying to grind his brain gears.
Trying to combine one brain cell with another to make my memory jog, but what was the name of that movie?
Jurassic World Dominion.
I don't think we saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the one before that.
Nope.
It wasn't?
No. It was that one. Because I remember the movie was absolute garbage. And I actually really like Fallen Kingdom. Because I remember seeing Fallen Kingdom with my grandma.
I don't know. My favorite is Jurassic Park 3. We're just going to move on to that.
Yeah.
And ignore my complete and utter lack of memory.
Fair enough. I will say in the rankings, 3 and Lost World do switch places very often. Only because it allows us to revisit the original characters. Because, if I'm feeling in an Ian Malcolm-y mood, I love Lost World more.
Right.
If I'm feeling Alan Granty, Jurassic Park 3 is what I want to watch more. So it just really depends. All right, Caden, since we've covered our favorite Jurassic Park movies, what is your quick review for us today?
All right, so this quick review is actually very quick. So Alan Grant goes on another expedition to another InGen island named Isla Sorna.
Which is the key island in the second movie.
Yes. And he's on this expedition to find the lost son of Kirby and Amanda.
Kirby and
Amanda. Paul and Amanda Kirby.
Yes.
And they're looking for their son Eric.
Yes.
And that's about as much quick review.
Yeah, there's not really much story in this movie other than that. That's why
Yeah.
I think it's like the easiest to just watch, because there's not like any massive InGen stuff or
I mean, the dinosaurs are a big part, but other than that, like InGen, the corporation that makes them, like Logan said, not really a big part. They're just kind of,
that's why honestly a lot of people can just like skip this one because it's like its own little isolated incident.
but it's Alan Grant.
It is Alan Grant. I mean, that's like the only real connection this one has to any of the other movies.
Yeah, that's true.
And just the fact that they were on the other island in the last movie as well.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add before we get into the production tales?
This is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like normal.
Check out the entire Jurassic Park franchise, because like if you okay, there are highs and lows. Definitely.
Like in the most recent trilogy, mostly lows.
and you know, sparking off the new trilogy we got coming out this July.
They
Well, I guess I don't know when this episode releases, so it might be out already or not.
yeah, probably.
So at the
'Cause
moment of recording,
it is not out yet.
yes, because this is the middle of May. So maybe when this episode comes out, we'll have complete and utter no faith in Jurassic World, or all the faith restored in Jurassic World. We'll see.
My vote's on the first option.
Oh, I thought it was just already gone.
Yeah, the original trilogy. Sorry, for me, the original duo still holds it for me.
Wait, there's another movie in the Jurassic Park trilogy? I thought there was only two.
Yeah, because real quick, doesn't Lost Worlds also take place in like San Francisco?
That is the film where the San Francisco incident takes place.
Lost Worlds?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because that's like the only like bridge moment. Like I said, there are connections to the other movies, but like they're very, very faint.
Yeah.
And they're all just because of Alan Grant mentioning things. Otherwise, this one has like no major effect at all in the overall Jurassic World ish story.
Yeah.
All right. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. On to production tales.
Oh boy.
So, when Steven Spielberg did the first one,
Uh-huh.
he always envisioned there would be three,
Okay.
but he never wanted to direct three of them.
Okay.
So his friend Joe Johnson always wanted to direct one after seeing the first one.
Okay.
And by the way, this is a returning director for us. I don't know if I mentioned this or not.
We have not yet.
This guy directed Wolfman 2010.
Hoorah.
So we have our first returning director, which will happen one more time, which will be Steven Spielberg in a later movie, which we are not saying it is yet.
We'll get there
Yeah.
sooner or later.
So originally, Joe Johnson was going to direct The Lost World,
Okay.
but Steven Spielberg. So Steven had the entire source of The Lost World around the San Diego thing, and originally he wanted that to be the third film.
Okay.
But then he was like, "Well, I'll just put that in the second one," because
Alright.
this doesn't really say what he was planning for like his complete trilogy, but
Dinosaurs and people.
pretty much.
Pretty.
Don't make fun of my impediment. So then he decided to pretty much just make 1 and 2 himself, and then the third one will be complete creative freedom for
Okay.
somebody else. That's what I'm picking up, anyways. And so he pretty much said, Johnson, maybe you can get this third one. So they announced the third one in 1998. And this one came out in like 2000,
1?
somewhere between 2000 and 2003. I don't think it was much further to 2003.
Okay.
Um,
'Cause, yeah, that I think this is one of the few movies where I don't have when it was when it was made written down.
yeah. Um, so the original story was devised of Alan Grant, who discovered to have been living on one of InGen's islands.
Oh,
So, pretty much, according to Johnson, he'd snuck in after not being allowed to research the dinosaurs and was living in a tree like Robinson Crusoe. But then he was like, I couldn't imagine this guy wanting to get back on any island that had dinosaurs on it after the first movie.
yeah, and they bring that up quite a bit.
I know. I like that. Now that I'm seeing this, I was like, hey, at least they acknowledged it.
Because I think it's like within the first 20 minutes, he's like, "There's nothing you can do to get me to go back on another island within the rest of my lifetime."
Pretty much.
And then within the rest of his lifetime, he ends up going back to what? 2 more islands.
Okay. Okay.
He goes. He
Okay,
goes.
the other one isn't an island. It's more like a preserve. I don't really remember much because, like I said, I couldn't pick up anything from that last movie. Like, I remember there was bugs in it,
I don't even remember that.
and like maybe 15 minutes worth of dinosaurs. I think that's why I don't like it. Anyway,
We're going to a dinosaur movie. We want to see some dinosaurs. That's what makes a good dinosaur movie. Is the dinosaurs.
what? There's no dinosaurs.
Anyway, continue.
So enter Craig Rosenberg, who had begun writing the first draft of Jurassic Park III in 1999. Johnson was impressed by Rosenberg's prior work, which included a thriller screenplay for Spielberg's company DreamWorks. Did you know that Steven Spielberg founded DreamWorks?
I did not. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that means he has two companies. He's got Amblin and DreamWorks.
The more you know, I guess.
Steven Spielberg is why we have Shrek. in essentially the long run. Are you processing right now?
I don't like that information. The same guy that brought me, the same guy that company that brought me my favorite dinosaur movie, also brought me one of the most memed movies of all time. Just from the opening alone, I don't know how to feel about that.
Somebody
Shut.
That hey, that's a call out for my parents because they love Shrek. It's like their favorite animated movie. And it doesn't help that Smash Mouth is one of Dad's favorite bands.
Well, it's a 1-2 combo then.
It is. You know, it really, really is.
Anyway, you're on strike 1. Strike 3, I'm unplugging your mic.
What? Okay, what am I being striked on here?
I'm not telling.
Oh, well. Oops. um so pretty much there was some creative differences with Rosenberg. I guess he had a draft where it involved teenagers becoming marooned on Isla Sorna, and it included a sequence involving an aquatic reptile called the Chronosaurus, which was not featured in the final film. And another scrap scene would be involve characters on motorcycles trying to evade raptors.
That
One,
sounds oddly
I know
familiar.
that sounds like I feel like we eventually got that somewhere.
Don't know where.
Press Pratt. Sorry, what that was
That was a
lodged in there.
violent one.
I know, man. So
Anyway.
so when Steven Spielberg publicly announced that Johnson was going to be the director and everything, Rosenberg was still attached, and pretty much after the whole motorcycle thing, pretty much got kicked out.
Probably for the best.
Pro-
I can't see some 50-year-old actors driving motorcycles.
I mean, they got Harrison Ford at 80 to ride a horse on a subway.
Yeah, but that's Harrison Ford. I'm sure he's been doing that stuff all his life.
That's fair.
Whereas the guy that plays Grant, Dr. Grant, probably just did those two movies as like a major role beforehand.
Yeah. Let's see. Then they hired Peter Butchman. In the early 2000s, he rewrote most of Rosenberg's stuff. Butchman's draft involved dinosaurs causing a series of mysterious killings on the mainland, followed by an investigation. The script also had a parallel story that involves Alan Grant, Billy, and a family crash landing on Isla Sorna. Pretty much,
So we got one half of the movie that
honestly, it's very much the same movie. Pretty much, they want to hear the Kirby's original last name?
sure.
Roby.
Roby.
Yeah.
Hmm.
and he's actually a rich guy in that version, and oh yeah, along with graduate student Billy Hume, which is Billy,
Yeah.
and Paul's 12-year-old son Miles, a dinosaur enthusiast, and Paul's bodyguard Cooper, and Susan Brentworth, Paul's business associate and girlfriend. And the plane was forced to land on the island after hitting an unidentified object as it takes off again and hits a Spinosaurus.
Ooh.
It pretty much says right after this, that pretty much plays out the exact same as the rest of the movie. They had Billy die in that draft.
Oh. Huh.
And I guess at the ending, Roby is spotted by a pilot and the family are rescued. However, Grant refuses to leave, and in the final scene, he retreats into the jungle, incorporating Spielberg's initial idea. I don't
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like that idea.
I don't know how I feel about the idea of Alan Grant becoming Tarzan.
Yeah, and I guess the original title was Jurassic Park Extinction. I like that title.
I do too.
Um,
I feel like that would fit more with some of the newer movies though.
yeah, Johnson can also consider it a vague title, with extinction potentially referring to the dinosaurs, the human population, or Grant. The name was eventually specified to Jurassic Park III. And Johnson said that no one was particularly fond of the title, but you certainly knew what it meant. Other potential titles were Jurassic Park Breakout or The Extinction Jurassic Park 3.
Oh.
Kind of like going with like the Lost World Jurassic Park
Yeah.
kind of thing. Um and for anybody who doesn't know, most of the shots and everything were filmed in Hawaii for like a lot of the island stuff.
Well, that's cool. I did not know that.
So in 2000, Sam Neill signed on again to do Alan Grant.
Okay.
He turned down Lord of the Rings for this.
For what role?
It sadly does not say. I'm gonna guess it probably would have been like I could see him doing maybe um the King of Rohan, the guy who's in the second movie.
Mm-mm.
You haven't seen him, have you?
Nope. I have him. Never seen him.
Yeah. I could see him doing that I could see him doing that role.
Yeah.
I couldn't see because he's not very old at this point. So he wouldn't be like Gandalf
No.
or anything.
And he's not exactly the one knight dude.
Oh, Aragorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just kind of middle ground. He was meant to be one of the hobbits.
Maybe. Neil said he was happy to return as he felt his performance in the first film could have been better. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think he did phenomenal.
Yeah. Hawaii was confirmed as a filming location for 3 weeks. And the filming was scheduled to begin August 2000. And the projected release was in July of 2001. William H. Macy, who plays Paul Kirby, originally turned down his role due to scheduling conflicts, so they delayed the film a month so they could get him.
Okay.
Macy had been working with Laura Dern, who is Ellie Sattler, on another film in 2001, and she urged him to accept the role of Jurassic Park 3.
Okay.
So Laura Dern saved people in the movie
Saving
and the funniest character in the movie. I couldn't imagine Paul Kirby being played by anybody else.
You say that about every character.
Okay, prove me wrong in this one instance. Who would you have play him if William H. Macy couldn't do it? Hmm.
You're gonna throw me on the spot without giving me any time to prep about it?
You do it to me all the time. In a lot of our what if conversations. Oh,
Yeah, but we're not being timed there.
that's fair. But do you have an idea?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves?
Because I think that would be right before the John Wick era, right?
It would have been very much in between the end of the Matrix and like actually he would have been doing Constantine around this time. So just kind of he'd been doing action movies, but he wasn't like an action star yet.
And you also got to think he's got that comedic side from Bill and Ted.
Yeah. All I can just imagine is, yeah, we're on an island of dinosaurs, and I gotta save my son.
I could see Keanu Reeves doing it. Because I think he gets in the character. Like, he's given a prompt, and he gets in the character very well.
Oof. Yeah. 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 I could see a version of it where he could do that.
Yeah.
He'd definitely have to tap into an awkward kind of side of him, especially for the way the character is portrayed.
Which, I mean, I don't think that would be difficult for him.
No, I think it'd be easier for him back then.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be harder for him now.
Which, granted, we're not taking a then movie and replacing it with a now actor.
That's fair.
So,
Wait, back on track. So, anyways, Johnson felt that Butchman's draft was too complicated, which kind of.
yeah, because that's the one that's 2 stories in one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially you got like a murder mystery with dinosaurs over here.
And then Isla Sorna.
Yes. And then, so pretty much Steven Spielberg and Joe Johnston talked to David Koepp, who had wrote the first 2 movies, and he suggested a rescue mission idea. which is kind of what we got.
Yeah.
But he had no involvement in writing the script or anything. In July of 2000, 5 weeks before they started filming, Spielberg and Johnson scrapped the entire script,
Oh.
and they hired Kep to bring to write them a movie.
Hey, this is a good movie. Let's pitch it. Let's have somebody else make us an entire movie script on a very specific time crunch.
Oh, this is getting better. With 18 million already being spent on the film at that point,
Oh.
which had been storyboarded and budgeted.
Well,
Dude.
it's a good thing it's Spielberg money.
And set building had already begun.
And what?
Set building had already begun.
Oh. Oh, I'd be so upset if I was like a set designer.
The rejection came after Johnson and Spielberg approved Kep's story, believing it to be superior to the other story, and many sequences from the second rejected draft, and some of the original draft were incorporated in the final film as a way of salvaging the work that had already been put in the project to that point.
I mean, if you want to salvage it, don't pitch it.
At that time, Utah's Dinosaur National Monument and the military base in Oahu were being considered for filming locations. Nice. So they began working on the new script and everything. And so it pretty much went pretty smooth after that, from what I can understand. I guess they brought Butchman back to do a couple more revisions that were in the final film, but he didn't take a credited role for it. So they pretty much just like, hey, these guys wrote the movie, but this guy did a couple other things. I guarantee they just brought him in to fine tweak a couple of the things he originally did.
Wouldn't surprise me.
A final draft of the script was never completed, during production. So they're pretty much writing the movie as they filmed. Did it seem that way to you?
No, I honestly thought it felt pretty finished.
Honestly, like it seems like a pretty well thought out story.
Yeah.
So, and so Spielberg wanted to be on set most of the time for this movie, but he was busy doing the movie called AI, Artificial Intelligence.
Never heard of it.
I have heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Probably for the best.
Let's see. It says here that Jurassic Park 3 was the most physically demanding of the entire series. We had cast that was willing to get real bruises and bumps, be around heat, and actually go underwater and everything.
Well, that's dedication.
That sounds like it was really, really fun. That's pretty much like it, like production wise. I mean,
Finally,
like, yeah, like if I was to go into like all the effects and everything,
we'd be here for another half hour.
at least.
But let's not do that.
All right, Caden. On to the budget and the box office. What do you think this movie cost to make?
100 million.
Close.
A hun-
93 million. How much do you think it made?
500 million.
No. Let me rephrase this. As like the lowest grossing out of all of them, what do you think it made?
200 million.
$368 million.
That's the lowest grossing?
Yeah. and it was because it was like, so when it came out, everybody was like, "This isn't based off of a book. This thing must suck."
Yeah, because what? Only the first two were based off of a book,
Yes,
and then everyone after was just freestyle, right?
pretty much. But then again, that was like mid 20 teens action, bringing back something from the 90s or 80s kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much riding off of like Star Wars or whatever. And internet, so in the US and Canada, it made $181 million on its own. So it
Okay.
was at least another 150 internationally.
Oh yeah.
And it is the lowest grossing installment of the franchise. That's still pretty good money.
I mean, that's impressive when you think, like, budget wise, like,
Absolutely.
because they made their money back threefold and then some.
Yeah, and then it only took what, 12, 13 years for them to like say, "Hey, let's just make another one."
Yeah. But all right. Is there anything else you want to do on production tales?
I think we're good. If we went any further, we'd be here forever. And I don't want to edit a 3-hour episode.
Well,
I don't even like editing the 2-hour episodes.
you just don't like editing.
That's just fair. We need to start paying people to do this.
Yeah, with what money?
Our friendship.
No.
All right, Caden. This is your movie.
Before we start, if you
Spoiler warning.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it already. I mean, at this point, we've kind of gone through every possible scenario in the movie with my quick review and Logan's 30-minute tangent on the production.
Oof. Hey, it's not my fault. There was like 15 different versions of this movie.
Yeah, well, you said you were gonna summarize it.
I tried to. It's not very often our movies go through like 3 or 4 different iterations.
That is true.
So please go see the movie. Spoiler warning. Caden, take us away.
So we're gonna start off on Isla Sorna, which is the second island we're introduced to in the series. Correct?
Yes, this is Site B, and this is the main island of in the setting of the second movie. So it if you watch them in order, you'll know exactly what this is. It was essentially like their factory room floor.
Yeah. But the reason we're on Isla Sorna, or off the coast, is because there's kind of a father son bonding in which a father is taking his son to go, what is it? Hang gliding?
Parasailing.
Parasailing. And I guess he has some connections with what they said the name of the government several times that's close to it.
The Puerto Rican.
That's what I was thinking. The father has very close connections to the Puerto Rican government, which they allow him to get really close to the island. Well, the driver of the boat and the guide send him on up.
Mhm.
And how high would you say they were?
I'd say they're probably maybe about 30, 40 feet.
I was gonna say 50 because
It's somewhere in there.
yeah, but once they get up, fog starts to roll in,
Yeah.
and then they noticed an intense shaking coming from the boat, and when the when the fog disperses, uh, which by the way, what was the father's name?
Ben.
Ben. Ben and Eric see that the driver and the guide are both missing.
They went on vacation.
Yes.
And they're you know what? They were already in one of the best vacation destinations.
It's a very beautiful looking island.
And they just decided like, hey, we could be somewhere better.
That you know what? For what we've covered so far, that's pretty impressive. That's what, not even 3 minutes in?
Pretty much.
We already have 2 vacations. Let's go.
And they were just like, you know what? Screw these guys. They're having the time of their life. Why can't we be?
Exactly. Unfortunately, they forgot to neglect to tell Ben or Eric that they're going on vacation, and the boat is still driving through the water.
Heading towards rocks.
Yes. So Eric starts freaking out, and Ben's like telling him, "Hold on, relax. I'm gonna cut the cord. Relax. Stop moving." And Eric says, "Okay, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm just scared."
And this is all on camera, by the way.
Yes.
Very Blair Witchy.
Very important, though.
Yes.
So Ben is able to cut the rope that is connecting them before the boat hits the rocks. And he has the wisest idea to parasail to Isla Sorna.
The island of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I just want to say on the actual sail, it says dino sail.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Because like there's essentially a guy like a paid guide boat ride.
Oh.
and that's pretty much what their company is called. Dino sailing.
I mean, whatever makes the most money.
You know it, sir. And
Sorry, I have a bad case of the yawns right now, and I don't know why.
it's because it's late at night and we both worked. Ish. It cuts then to Alan Grant.
The Grantster himself. And he's talking with a little kid named Charlie.
Yep. In his dino PJs.
Yeah, and Charlie's like 3 or 4,
Yes.
playing with dinosaurs, and Dr. Grant's trying to give him,
Essentially a lesson.
yeah, like advanced dinosaur behavioral lessons.
Pretty much like saying herbivores won't fight each other. And then Charlie's just like mashing the toys together.
Yeah.
Like as like any of us did when we were kids.
And then Ellie, right?
Mhm.
She comes in. Grant, he's 3 years old. He's not going to remember that. Which, at this point in the story, Grant and Ellie are no longer together.
She married somebody in the State Department.
Yes.
His name is Mark, I believe.
I don't remember. He was in the movie all of 5 seconds, and we never saw him again.
Pretty much.
Literally came in, introduced himself, said, "Hey, I'm going to go get dinner ready," and then that's it.
Gone.
But yeah, Alan Grant is there to see Ellie and to catch up on old times because it's been
At least 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. And in this time, Alan Grant's still been doing the paleontology stuff,
Mhm.
trying to undustify the bones.
Whenever we bring up any form of like science in form of archaeology and or paleontology, we're just gonna call it undustifying. When we were talking about Indiana Jones, oh yeah, he's over there undustifying that.
But he actually has a nice dinner with Ellie and her husband?
Yes.
With her husband, if he was there. Like I said, all of 5 seconds and never again.
Say he gets like one bite of his food, then he's just gone.
He's like, "Hey, I'll let you two catch up." Gone. But anyway.
But it was such a well written character.
Oh, absolutely. My favorite in the entire movie.
We need the Mark cut.
But it then cuts to, well, Alan and Ellie catch up, you know, and Alan discovers that velociraptors were smarter than what he had originally thought.
He said they're smarter than dolphins, whales, or even primates because they used advanced communication techniques. So essentially, they were pretty much able to talk to each other.
Yeah. And this really interests Ellie. She's like, "Wow, really?" And I don't know. but her acting in that scene just kind of seemed like not all there.
I mean, you're pretty much asked to play a character for 5 minutes who says, I'm still haunted by the events of what happened to me in the first movie, but yet I'm still interested when you bring up raptors.
Yeah.
You're pretty much being forced to play both sides of the field there.
Yeah.
So it's going to come off a little not quite right.
I mean, as long as she never, ever, ever goes on another island again, she'll be fine.
Oh, wait. That's right. That last movie doesn't exist. So she's fine.
Yeah, totally. And then these first like 15 minutes of the movie just kind of whiz by me. But it's at this point that Dr. Grant gives a lecture.
Yes.
Okay. So he's giving a lecture about all the dinosaurs and the recent discoveries scientists have made on dinosaurs.
It's pretty much it's
It's a
almost
big show and tell, pretty much.
it feels like he's trying to do a grant review, like he's trying to get money or something,
Right.
but then it's just for students.
Yeah.
So like I'm not really sure what this speech was for. Cause like at the end of the speech he's all like, that's why we continue to need and ask for your support.
Paleontology. Anyway.
Yeah.
At,
Yeah, that's just it. Just paleontology.
at the end of it, he asked the audience if they have any questions. Everybody raises their hand.
He's like, questions that are not connected to Jurassic Park.
Or the events at San Francisco, which I was not a part of.
San Diego.
Yeah, I asked you San Francisco at first, and you said yes.
You said San Diego.
I said Francisco.
No.
I will fight you over this, and I will die on this hill. I said Francisco.
Okay, Diego.
Strike two. Anyway, I can't remember what the kid asked, but do you remember what he asked? The only kid that actually had a real question?
He asked if he would ever want to get on the island because pretty much his work is pretty much pointless because scientists are just going to get on this island and study real dinosaurs for themselves. And Grant's pretty much like, real dinosaurs are buried and fossilized in rock. What InGen did was make genetically advanced, genetically engineered theme park monsters. And if you really think about it, he's right.
Yeah.
Nothing about those dinosaurs are genuine. Remember, they used different DNA sequences to fill in the gaps to make them live.
And I think I brought this up to you, but something that is so funny to me now is like a year or two ago, apparently scientists thought that dinosaurs had feathers.
Um,
Like they
a, a,
still
cou-
think they
a,
do.
a couple of them did. Like because with the studies, they did confirm that raptors pretty much evolve into birds, and they were more bird. They honestly were more bird-like creatures,
Right.
and that's why a lot of them pretty much did have feathers.
I just think that's so funny. Just pack of raptors chasing you 30 million years ago, coming to the present. Oh, it's a flock of pigeons. Why was I scared?
But like, if you think about it, most of what our conception of what dinosaurs are or look like is because of this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
So like once you start getting like what actual scientists are finding, is like, no. Dinosaurs like Jurassic Park?
They're leather, not feather.
Yes. L, not F.
It's just, it's such a funny concept to me.
It is.
A feathery dinosaur. Like with bright, vibrant blue, green, red feathers like a parrot. And it's like, I can't be scared of that.
That's like the thing about Like when you think about like the actual science of it, like how much we don't know about them.
Right.
And just because of what they learned at the time, what we are pretty much putting them on that pedestal and what we think they are
Right.
is when like people are like, well, I think the T-Rex would have sounded like the one in Jurassic Park. No,
There's
that roar is a um a combination of an elephant, a lion, and something else.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a video that went around of what an actual T-Rex would have sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
It's that terrifies me more than what Jurassic Park shows me
Yeah,
because it's not a roar.
it's
It's
like a
like a
scream.
clicking,
Oh yeah, that's right, the clicking.
and then it's like a clicking followed by growling, like a
Mm.
very deep rumbling growling that you would hear, that you would actually feel before you heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And just that scares me more than naked T-Rex that sound like elephant go. "Rrr." Uh, yeah, pretty much.
Don't copyright me for that noise. It was less than 3 seconds.
But anyway, back on track. After Alan Grant gives his lecture, he goes to his dig site.
Where we meet Billy.
Yeah, and Billy Brennan is his whole name. Which
Yes.
I don't know why I have that wrote down.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of glad you did because in the original script, his name was Billy Hume.
Oh. Well,
Billy Brennan is better.
Dr. Grant is talking to Billy, and Billy's like, "Hey, we get any money?"
Nope.
Like they said, what,
Yep.
3 months they'd be left out?
Uh, 5 months. 3 months is what Billy said because he had to buy something special.
Yeah, and Billy shows Dr. Grant what it is.
It's essentially a 3D printer,
Yeah, the
an extremely 90s big 3D printer.
do you remember what they called it?
It's like it was like a really intricate name. It was like a 3D molding processor or something.
It didn't have 3D in it. It was like the molding processor sounds right, but 3D doesn't.
Yeah.
But
But
no, you're right. Essentially, it's just a 3D printer.
and what it does is they just take an image
Cut it layer by layer.
and then they just add in. Well, I can't tell if it's a printer or a carver.
It's a printer.
Is it a printer?
Because I don't think they would risk. Well, yeah, they're at an archaeology site. I don't think they're gonna risk destroying the.
I'm not saying that like they're making it out of bone. Like if I don't know if it's like etching the the
I think it's a printer because they say it goes layer by layer and then stacks it together.
You're right. I'm not
Maybe.
the 3D printer guy in our friend group.
Neither am I.
That's Hunter.
He's not here. Anyway, what did they 3D print, Logan?
A resonating chamber of a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much their voice box.
we're not gonna try and recreate that sound.
I don't even want to attempt it because it's like a chicken.
It's
It's
like
like a chicken, a very echoey chicken.
it's like a high screech, low bellow. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a really messed up duck call.
And so Dr. Grant gives it a try and he's like, "Wow, this is incredible. We're still broke."
Yeah. But we meet a new guy. His name is Mr. Paul Kirby, CEO of Kirby Enterprises. And this man has a baller mustache.
It does. I actually like the way this guy looks.
You like his little sunglasses too.
He just seemed to be a man with a plan.
Oh yeah, definitely, totally real.
But anyway, uh, Paul Kirby is looking for Mister Doctor Grant, and he's like, "Can I, can I interest you in dinner tonight at this random bar?"
And Alan is like, "No, I just got back from traveling." And Billy's like,
Yeah,
"But-"
we'll take you up on that offer.
and so they're at the bar, and I'm gonna assume that Alan and Billy are regulars because they know the bartender by name.
And they both know what they want without looking at the menu.
Yeah,
It was a weird drink too, like a
it's
cat tail.
no, it's a ice pick.
Oh,
It's like vodka and something else.
no. Anyway, uh, Paul Kirby is there with his wife
Wife.
Amanda Kirby, and they tell Alan Grant what they want. They're like, "Hey, we're planning a honeymoon trip. We're gonna go over one of the parks, one of the islands, and we want a guide to point stuff out to us. Somebody that's been there feet first."
Yeah.
And Alan's like, "No, nuh-uh. I am never, ever, ever in a million, trillion, billion, gajillion years going back."
And then Paul Kirby gets out a checkbook. He's like, I can put all kinds of numbers on here. And then Sam Neill does like the most ripped off Harrison Ford smile you you can never imagine.
But it worked.
It worked. I, and I want to point this out. They can get Alan Grant to do anything for money.
Yes.
That's exactly how the first movie went. That's exactly how this movie is going.
And it's all for his archaeology.
Paleontology.
Paleontology, archaeology, botany, whatever.
Botany. Well, that's
Pharmacy.
that's a real left curve there, ain't it?
But anyway, Dr. Grant finally decides to agree after probably $1 billion check is written out.
I was gonna say they never say the amount,
There's probably a lot.
but later on,
No.
oh nope.
No.
We'll talk about it when we get there. Sorry.
Yeah. And it's at this point where we're introduced to some gunmen.
I think their names are
One is Cooper.
Udesky, and I have the other one written down here. Nash.
Nash. And these three are hired gunmen.
Yes.
And all three of them are gunmen, but two of them are also pilots.
Yes.
And we're introduced to them as they're blowing up a plane with a high explosive round rifle shot.
Yeah. And they airbrush dinosaur features on this airplane just to give it that realistic effect, you know.
All right, just going out of the way real quick. Can you remember all the modifications to the gun?
No.
Because it was like
There was like at least
muzzle
three
brake,
there's like at least 3 or 4 mods.
muzzle brake, enhanced zoom,
It was
padded stock,
there was so much they did to that gun.
grounded so no recoil. It's got a cup holder for your cup, and it's got an ice tray
And it
to
shoots
put
itself.
in your cup. Yeah, this gun bends back 270 degrees and shoots itself.
Yeah. We don't condone self-violence with automatic weaponry.
We don't condone violence.
We do support dino fights,
Yes.
not human fights.
Anyway, it's at this point that it then cuts to them on the plane. Because it never, I don't think it showed them getting on. It's just,
Yeah, it's
they're
just
there.
them on the plane.
And Dr. Alan Grant starts kind of getting familiar with everyone.
Yeah.
And
Then he takes a nap.
well, yeah, he's talking to Billy, and he's like, "Well, it's not now. It's your turn to be nice." And like Logan said, he takes a nap, but it's more of a nightmare.
And this is like the most laughable part in the entire franchise.
I love it. This is
Honestly, I think this is like the most memed thing about this movie.
so Dr. Grant wakes up and he looks around, doesn't see anybody. He looks out the window and notices like, oh
It's
God,
cloudy.
we're falling.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
And all of a sudden he just hears his name. He turns to the left of him,
Where Billy was sitting.
and there's just a velociraptor
A talking raptor.
it with Billy's voice and saying Alan.
Alan.
It's so funny to me because they made it look so good.
I know. The one prosthetic shot of a velociraptor and they just use it for a talking dinosaur. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
They use a lot more practical dinosaur effects in this movie than just this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're phenomenal to look at.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, they finally get to Isla Sorna. And I apologize if me saying it with such a big space like that irritates you. If I don't say it like that, I'm going to say Isla Sonar because that's how I originally wrote it. Because I'm like, Isla Sonar. That doesn't sound right. Anyway.
Yeah, just like, wait a minute. There's naval stuff going on in this movie? That's not right.
But, they're flying over after finally getting to the island.
And Alan is like trying to do what he was hired to do,
Give lectures.
and nobody's paying attention to him. And then he,
Rather, Udesky and Nash are. You look like you were about to say something.
I was about to go on.
Oh, we'll go for it. I apologize.
You're all right. But pretty much you're like, hey, we ready to land? And Alan's like, what?
What do you mean land? We can't be here.
And then he's pretty much trying to be like, take over, like, you cannot land on this island. And all of a sudden you just get bam
Knocked out.
by Cooper,
Yeah.
who supposedly knows the Kirby's from church. Quote unquote church.
And how long would you say he was knocked out for?
I'd say no more than half an hour.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Because they would have at least have had to find the landing strip.
Yeah.
They would have had to make the circle back around to get into landing position.
Yeah.
They would have had to set up their stuff or like get out all their stuff or whatever. So yeah, I'd say no more than 30 minutes.
Yeah. And Billy's there to wake him up. Or to greet him, at
Mhm.
least. Says everyone's already off the plane.
Yep.
So Alan rushes out, very upset, finds Paul. He's like, who hit me? Where is he? He points to Kirby, or not Kirby, Cooper, as he's running off into the bushes with,
With said big gun.
and it was it Udesky or Nash that he
All
ran
three of them went.
off? Okay. I think it was Udesky that he ran off with, though, because Nash
Yes.
comes back separately.
Yes, and Amanda is yelling into a megaphone.
Eric!
Which, if you haven't pieced things together yet, what?
They're actually looking for their son.
Eric.
Whoa.
You know, the kid who went missing about a half an hour ago.
And I will say this right off the bat. It has apparently been 8 weeks since
Yes.
that incident.
And so, at this point, we hear a loud roar.
Yeah.
Something, and Billy's like, oh man, it's the T-Rex. I finally get to see a T-Rex.
This entire time, though, Grant's telling Amanda to stop screaming into the microphone.
And
She just keeps screaming.
yeah. And then Alan's like, that ain't no T-Rex. That's something bigger.
They were right. He was right. And
All of a sudden, the three mercenaries just.
nope. No.
I mean, no.
Nash runs out. Udesky follows shortly behind.
That's right. He's like, we have to go. And then
Everyone's asking, what about Cooper? He'll be fine. We need to leave. So they start up the plane. They get it turned around so they can get more runway.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're gaining about top speed, Cooper runs out, and he looks
Utterly terrified.
terrified and beaten up. And I was talking to Logan about this, and I'm like, this actually makes me really sad because, you know, he may look like a tough guy, but this is probably the most genuine, fearful acting I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then, just out of nowhere, boom! A Spinosaurus sends Cooper on his long deserved vacation.
We are up to 3 vacations. And I will say, when I first watched this movie, that scene always scared me. Just how it materialized out of the trees and the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's because they wanted the jump scare factor.
they got it.
Oh yeah. And I do have a question for you. So like when they hit the Spinosaurus on the runway, do you think the stuff on the window is blood or fuel?
Blood.
You think it's blood?
Because because putting a little bit of logic behind it.
Yeah.
From where they were going, even if they were pulling straight up, the blades would have splattered it on the windshield.
Yeah, that's fair.
And something else that I saw online was that Spino probably wouldn't have hunted them if they didn't nick its fin. Like, if they would have pulled up a little sooner, they wouldn't have had to worry about the Spino.
No.
But after they hit it, it was out for blood.
Yep.
But
But that's the least of their worries right now.
because now they're in a crashing plane.
And they're flying through the jungle. And they get wedged in a tree.
Yeah. And Alan opens the normal exit. It says,
We haven't landed yet.
and I hate that line. It's too corny.
And then Nash and Udesky are up front like, anybody got the satellite phone? We got to get out of here. We got to call for help. All of a sudden, Spinosaurus just rips the front of the plane off.
Not immediately, because it scares Amanda.
Yes.
The Spinosaurus is a little prankster.
He's such a tricky doofus.
Because literally, it just raises its head, looks up, and Amanda screams like a banshee, and it lowers its head like it's scared.
Like, oh, the lady saw me. Oh, God.
But then, like Logan said, it does rip the front part of the plane off.
And Udesky runs back with the others. And then Nash follows, but it gets Nash's leg. And this part is kind of traumatizing.
Kind of hard to watch.
Because he's pretty much just like screaming bloody murder, and he's just
help.
And he's on top of Amanda, and like his blood just drips on her face. Then he just gets picked up and taken out.
And something we should mention, this will be relevant. Nash has the satellite phone.
And it has the Kirby jingle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that. And there's words for it, but I don't remember what it is.
There is.
We're not going to try and remember.
No. There's also story sensitive stuff to that jingle.
Yeah. But anyway, after Nash is taken on vacation.
Yeah, at least he got a quick vacation. Or he got his plane tickets quite immediately. No pun intended.
After he got his vacation, though, the plane finally falls out of the tree, and the Spino starts messing with it badly.
The plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's like rolling it around or
he's
whatever.
Rolling it, and he's like
pushing on it.
Lunging his snout
He lunges his snout into it, like rips a hole in the top of it.
And it's like a reverse game of whack-a-mole.
Ooh, whack-a-mole.
instead of the moles popping out at
You have
you're
to
trying
go
to
get
grab the
them.
moles.
That sounds a lot harder than whack-a-mole.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably why the Spino failed so badly.
The large nose just got in the way. Oh well.
But as it's doing this reverse whack-a-mole, the people are trying to cross from one end of the plane to where the front used to be so they can escape.
I'm pretty sure Paul Kirby's shirt touched Spino teeth.
One surprised me.
He got very, very close.
Oh, yeah. But after they do that, Amanda runs out, right?
Yeah. And then
And
Alan goes and gets her back. And that point is when he starts tearing into the plane. They're like, go, 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 go. We just ran back inside, but go, 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 go.
and so they go into the woods further.
Yeah, because the Spino is too big to fit in between the trees.
Yes.
In which case they stumble across a T-Rex.
Well, first they come across a carcass of a different dinosaur.
Which is the T-Rex's menu.
And Alan, and this was a practical animatronic.
Yes.
And I really liked this.
Mm-hmm. And Alan, in normal Alan fashion, he's like, don't move a muscle. Everybody runs away. And then he's just like,
Oh, come on.
again?
And they're all running back in the direction of the Spino.
In which case we get our first ever Dino fight. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And for the longest time after I watched Jurassic World, I thought that this T-Rex was the Rexy.
No.
But anyway, the crew's trying to escape this Spino versus Rex fight, and most of them get out of it unharmed, but Dr. Grant,
He like got caught underneath T-Rex foot
yeah,
there
because
for
he stumbles into a
in between
tree
two
branch.
Yeah, in between two tree logs.
And he's screaming like bloody murder, and once the Spino foot gets off of him, he books it.
And then the T-Rex just like falls dead at his feet.
Yeah, which we're not going to count that on vacation. That's going to be one expensive one.
Yeah, that's like a world trip cruise right there, man.
Yeah. And I always loved this scene more than any other. Like from the starting at the plane taking off to the T-Rex getting killed, cuz it just all felt good together, like it blended well
It's
nicely.
a very good sequence.
And the sound design of the Spino and the T-Rex,
Mm-hmm.
it was phenomenal.
And one of the things I thought was kind of symbolic about it was because for the longest time the T-Rex was like the big guy,
Yeah.
and then they were like, hey, how do we one up a T-Rex? Well, but there's a dinosaur called the Spinosaurus, which was like bigger.
And this is something unrelated, but you might find it funny. There are a couple people online that I've seen talk about this, and they were saying, what if it's not a giant fin, but massive neck muscles like a buffalo?
Ooh, interesting.
And somebody actually like sketched out what that would look like. It's gigantic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure.
The version that we got pales in comparison to what it would look like under that concept, and it could easily throw the T-Rex off of its feet.
Yeah.
Just from neck muscle alone.
And I think the cool thing is we're getting more Spinosauruses in Rebirth,
Oh yeah.
and they're definitely showing the more aquatic side of them
Oh.
because they're very much an amphibious dinosaur.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing we're getting.
We're also getting a Cloverfield.
The D-Rex, which is pretty much if a xenomorph and a T-Rex.
Had a bad baby.
They pretty much gave birth to a Freddy Krueger of a monstrosity of a baby.
But all right. So we just got done with the dino fight, right?
Yes. And at this
Uh,
point, we get a loud punch
yep, that's
into
right.
Paul Kirby's face.
From Dr. Alan Grant. Like, all right, Buster, each time you start explaining what's going on before I hit you again, like the fool you are.
And I just want to point out, they very much modeled Alan Grant in this movie after Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Because he has the hat on the entire time. He's a lot more physical in this movie than he was before.
Well, I mean, he's given a opportunity to be this time.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of funny. I just noticed it more often in
Yeah.
more recent viewings of it. I was like, man, so this is what would have happened if Harrison Ford wasn't Indiana Jones.
And see, even in the first movie, he normally had his hat on him or around him that he could pick up later.
Yeah. He had it on for like the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie. But then he got lost in the T-Rex incident.
Mm.
But this one, he just has it on the entire time.
Yeah, that's true.
After the whole water thing.
Anyway, so Dr. Grant has just punched Kirby or Paul Kirby, and he's like, all right, I'll explain. Me and Amanda, we're divorced. We're looking for our son, though, who came out with his stepfather, Eric. And
His stepfather, Ben.
Ben, Eric, whatever. There's so many names. You know I'm not good with names. But we're actually looking for Eric. And Dr. Grant and Billy start questioning him more. And Billy's like, is this check even worth anything?
He's
And
like, Kirby Enterprises is really Kirby Paint and Tile Plus, where we're in a mall and we do bathroom fixtures and remodels and stuff. And Alan's just like, fantastic. We're on the worst place on the planet and we're not even being paid for it.
and so Kirby, I keep calling him Kirby. It's Paul Kirby. I might just end up saying Mr. Kirby.
Just so everybody can get a little bit of a background information. Caden loves the Kirby video games.
I do.
So
They're
that's what's messing him up.
I'm good at my job. I know what I'm doing. We've done this before at least 12 times, if not more.
It's something like that.
But Paul Kirby says, look, I will pay you back if you guys ever need a bathroom done.
Hey,
And
I mean, if you think about it, a free bathroom remodel or a free kitchen remodel,
pretty good.
that's a pretty good trade-off.
Granted, for what's at stake right now,
I think it need to be both at once,
yeah.
not just one or the other.
But anyway, Dr. Grant and Billy pretty much say, hey, we're going to go on our own way. You can search if you want.
And I love Udesky.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we search for your son in the direction that they're going.
Udesky is a smart man.
Udesky is such a smart man.
And he's not cynical. He's just out there. He just speaks the truth.
Yeah, he ain't afraid. He ain't afraid to speak his mind.
Because Dr. Grant was talking to him and he's like, so are you even a hired gunman?
He's like,
Like-
no, I'm a booking agent. It's like, wait, you work for Trivago? Are you the people? Are you the guy who booked everybody's vacations?
Shut up. But they find the InGen lab?
No.
Not
At
yet.
this point, they find the torn up sail.
Oh, that's right. I had it in my notes, but I closed it because I thought I remembered the movie. Anyway, they find the torn up sail and the camera we talked about
Mm-hmm.
earlier. And apparently that camera was used the day
They went missing.
they went missing, and it was used prior that day, like by
Amanda.
yes.
Because Amanda, Ben, and Eric were on vacation.
Yes. And so they're watching the video, and at the end of it they see that Eric gets cut down.
Mm-hmm.
It the camera is kind of just cuts off then due to low power,
Yeah. And then, like 2 seconds later, they're messing with the cords.
trying to get the parachute because
Billy says he can use it if it's not torn.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, a nice, juicy skeleton falls and entangles Amanda in its web of sailness.
Now would we count I counted this as a vacation.
I mean, he ain't breathing.
Yeah, it's a named character. We saw them and we see them on vacation, quote unquote. So I'm counting it.
We interrupted him in the middle of his vacation,
Yeah.
and it's like opening up the tanning bed, and he's like, "Dude, I'm busy," kind of situation.
Tanning bed was left on a little too long.
Just a little extra crispy.
But what I like about this scene is there's a lot of detail in that skeleton.
They made it look like he got gnawed on, dude.
Like flesh and tendon look like it's still intact on some parts.
Yeah.
And this
And honestly, I like the way that they never explain what happened to him, because then that leaves your imagination be like, what ate this guy? Like what could have just like done that to him?
what ate him but left all his clothes?
I was say, what just like went underneath his clothes? Did like an army of compies just like climb up there and just eat him apart piece by piece?
That's what I was gonna think.
I don't know. That's just like the creepy part. That's like the creepiest death we've had on this show so far,
And it's like we can't say velociraptors or the T-Rex.
because they would have eaten the clothes or just the bones in general.
They would have ripped the sail off completely. They would
Yeah.
have torn it. Same with the Spino.
Yeah. Maybe a Dilophosaurus just melted his skin off or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe the humidity of the island melted his skin off.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, as you would expect, this freaks out Amanda seeing her now current husband.
Yes. And she like runs off, and Alan's like, "Go get her, Mr. Kirby," and he just like looks at him like, "Me?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll do it."
And so he catches up to her. He's reconciling with her pretty much,
Mhm.
apologizing for everything that's happened.
And she's like, "I don't care about that. That just means our son is here alone."
And Paul's putting a bright side to it. He's like, hey, that kid is a survivor. Remember when we tried to ground him? And that didn't work.
Truth, truer words have never been spoken. And at this point, this is when the InGen facility comes up.
Yes.
And this is honestly the only reference to any of the other stuff.
We forgot one major part.
Hmm.
As they're walking away from the
Oh, that's
parachute,
right.
they come across a river. And around this riverbank is a bunch of raptor nests full of eggs.
Eggs. And everybody's like, "Dude, we need to move
Now.
And Billy has a photo camera
Yes.
bag, and so he pretty much has stayed behind. And Alan's like, "Where's Billy at, man?" And he goes to walk past, and Billy's closing his bag. He's like, "I was taking pictures of the nest." We're like, "Okay."
Whatever works, man.
And then they hike up, and that's when they find the InGen facility, which is their factory room floor.
Yes.
And this is not the same place that is shown in the second movie. This is pretty much like where they actually like grew the dinosaurs and stuff.
My favorite type of dinosaur, the one with full of GMOs.
Yes. Yes.
See, I prefer my dinosaurs homegrown. There's a whole lot less harmful chemicals in them.
Are we talking free range or just in a pen?
See, I like to let mine be free range. They might nip at me once in a while, but that's why I get the spray bottle. I mean, I do struggle to hold it now with me only having my pointer finger left, but
You just tape the bottle to your hand and you just go.
now if I lose that pointer finger, the free range will be really free range, but
At that point,
that's their luxury.
but at that point, it's pretty much they're in control and you're on vacation,
Yeah.
and then there's somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Anyway,
we pretty much see them in their different stages of messed up science.
from
Horse-looking,
horse-looking embryo, which I wrote that down because you agree with me. It looked like a horse embryo.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a brachiosaurus or something. It looked like a horse. I'm sorry.
Something that I want to point out first before we continue, because I know where this is going. Paul finds a vending machine and he's like, "Oh, it takes $2. I only have $1.10. Anybody have any change?"
Billy just kicks the glass in.
He kicks the glass into the one next to him, gets out snacks for everyone but Paul. Paul tries to do the same thing, but his is like plexiglass.
Yeah.
So he just bounces off of it. He's like, "Ow."
He's like holding his hip or whatever.
And he's limping away.
Like I said,
Right.
William H. Macy carries this movie.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. So now we're back to the horse embryo.
Which is
And
something we just bring up on a daily basis.
of course. And Amanda's looking at all these test tubes and she sees the head of a velociraptor and she's kind of focusing on it.
And it looks at her.
And as she's done every time up until this point, she screams loudly and runs away.
She's trying to be America's next scream queen.
Uh,
Sadly, she does not make the cut.
And so we're given a raptor chase through the InGen lab, and they end up taking a turn
into like a bunch of pens.
Yeah. And the group gets divided between
2 cages.
Indusky, Grant, and Paul, with Amanda and Billy in a separate cage. The raptor tries to go after
Billy
and Amanda, and it's actually pushing the gate open. And this is an interesting gate because it's a full swing, so like it can hit every wall if need be.
And then it like climbs on the door and they just push it shut around the other way and they lock it.
It's trying to climb over the door to get to him. And so they run away. The two groups now back to one. And
the raptor's calling for help and Alan's like, "Oh,
it can speak."
And Paul just comes up like, "Come on, who cares?"
And the raptor gets out shortly after the team escapes the InGen lab. And I wrote this down and I said the first word and you knew immediately what I was going for. I put down raptors assemble. Because as soon as the first raptor gets out of the lab, like 3 or 4 more just come out of nowhere.
It just cuts to them, their faces like, "Yes, sir, I will answer the call." It's pretty much essentially Thundercats in raptor form.
Yeah. But
in which case they get separated again.
Yes.
Alan, do they run into a herd
Yeah, they do. It's
of
a
various carnivores.
I wrote down a dino stampede.
Yes. In which case, Billy loses his bag,
Yes.
and Alan saves it for him.
Yep.
And this is when he gets separated because
Right now it is.
Paul, Amanda, Udesky, and Billy are in the trees, and Alan runs off, and he gets cornered.
Yes.
And it cuts then right back to
The group in the tree.
in which case Udesky gets called over here, which case he gets gotten.
Oh wait, no. Udesky was never in the tree.
That's right.
He ran off separately as well.
That's right.
And so he gets got by one of the raptors.
In which case they use him as like a
Bait.
yeah,
And they use him as like a trap.
and he
Because-
moves, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's alive!" And he's like, "Wait, no, don't move anywhere."
Yeah, Billy's trying to tell Amanda and Paul not to go anywhere.
In which case she like slips, and the raptor tries to bite her throat, and then it's like an upside down hanging acrobatics thing.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, Alan gets smoke bombed.
Well, he's surrounded by raptors as well.
Yes, and that's when he gets smoke bombed.
Yes.
And then a midget runs out of nowhere and just saves him,
Yeah.
looking like Batman or something like that.
Looking like a raider from Mad Max.
Yes. In which case, if you haven't pushed it together, it's Eric.
Somehow, this 12-year-old child
Survived 8 weeks
on an island infested with carnivorous dinosaurs.
inside of a waterlogged InGen's truck.
Yeah.
Supply truck.
Don't know how he did it. I'm impressed.
Somehow he got a jar of T-Rex pee.
Never explained how he did that.
Don't want to know how he did that.
Still kind of impressed.
Yeah. Alan eats some beans.
And a crunch bar.
Yes.
And we did forget to mention Undesky is now dead.
Yes. Udesky is now on vacation.
Udesky, whatever. He was killed when Amanda was pulled back up from the
Yeah, they like picked him up and snapped his neck with their mouths.
Raptors are violent.
They're so mean.
So that's
like 6 or 7.
I had it. Well, we got to think. It's the 2 tour guides,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
and the 3 gunmen. That's 6.
Yes.
So we're at 6.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Well, that's all. That's all the vacations for this movie, fellas.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
I
You know,
guess we are in spoiler territory, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, this whole movie is a spoiler right now.
Yep. And so at this point, Alan and Eric pretty much set out to find the others. And Eric all of a sudden hears the phone, the satellite phone jingle.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
In which case they run, and he's just screaming mom and dad. And Paul hears Eric, and then they meet up at like this gate thing, and he's like, "I heard your stupid phone, Dad." He's like, I don't have my phone.
Who is the last person to have it? And then they say Nash just for the Spino to come out of the woods.
And they just turn around, there he is, just like, "Hey guys."
And something I would like to mention, a night has passed.
Yes.
This is their now second day on the island.
Yes.
So Grant and Eric spent an entire night in a storage truck,
Mhm.
whereas
The others spent the night in the trees.
yes, what a wonderful place to spend the night.
Yes. And then they run, and they find a gateway, like a hole
In the gate.
in the fence.
And I would like to say this. This gate is at least 4 feet wide at its base of solid concrete with about 3-inch thick wires going all the way across in an X shape with barbed wire at the tippy top of it, and it's probably reinforced at the pillars by concrete.
The Spinosaurus just breaks right through it.
Yeah, it just headbutts it once, and it starts its chase again.
In which case, they lock a metal door with 3 locks, and the Spinosaurus is unable to get in.
Which the door is about a foot taller than Billy, who's the tallest person there.
Yeah. There's some inconsistencies here.
Maybe a little bit.
I didn't say it was a little one. I just said there were some inconsistencies.
I told you this when we first watched. That Spino could have ripped that entire building apart.
Yes.
And the fact that just 2 steel doors, half an inch thick, can stop it is.
All I can just imagine is the Spinosaurus is like, doors,
My weakness.
my greatest enemy.
Or, it's just supposedly tired. And it just kind of hits it a couple times. It's like, it's not worth it. I'll come back.
It just finally passes out and runs out of the adrenaline it used from running into the gate.
But Alan kind of has a confrontation at this point with Billy.
And he's like, because Billy's been pretty suspicious, is like, give me my bag back, man.
Yeah, because he was looking for it, and Alan's like, well, I saved it for you.
And Alan opens it. Billy took raptor eggs.
Raptors, you don't want to mess with them normally, and you definitely don't want to mess with them after you've stolen their eggs.
And so Billy's pretty much like, I thought we could sell them and get enough money to save the dig for another 10 years or so.
And Alan kind of says something
Well,
honest.
and Billy's like, I just had the best intentions. And Alan's like, sometimes the worst things possible are built on best intentions. And he pretty much tells him to his face, you're no better than the people that built this place. Which I was like, that's kind of rough, man.
Yeah.
It's not true at all.
Like, he took 2 eggs. He isn't genetically modifying
Monsters.
demon dinosaurs. He just took 2 eggs to further your expedition into paleontology.
And granted, you don't really know who he's gonna who would even buy him in the first place.
Malcolm. And that's something we did mention. Eric has read Grant's books, and Malcolm's book.
And he was like, Malcolm's kind of hiding himself, isn't he? And Alan's like,
Yeah.
There's a couple things we have in common.
So there is another child that is a good fan of Dr. Grant's books.
Hey, rock on, man. I'm still waiting for the movie. I couldn't read the books, man. I'm waiting for the movie.
Oh, yes. The movie from a book that's going to be in a movie about a book.
Yes. I don't
Okay.
see the issue here.
Of course you don't. Anyway, Dr. Grant decides it's best to get rid of the eggs, but then realizes, hey, whether we have them or not, we took them. They're going to hunt us.
And then Paul's like, what are you doing? Get rid of them. He's like, what happens if they catch us without them?
We're still dead.
Pretty much.
So Paul's like, oh,
okay.
Works for me.
And so they go down this spiral staircase.
And they're looking for the shoreline.
Yes, because they're looking for the coast to get. Alan and Eric saw a boat.
Yes.
And so they're trying to get down to the ravine to get to the boat.
Yes.
And they find themselves in some kind of cage or something. It's an aviary. For what? Pigeons? No.
I had it written down.
Is it
a lizard bird cage?
Is it pterodons?
Yeah, we'll call it pterodons because that's pretty much what they are.
Because it's not pterodactyls.
Close enough.
I don't know. There's too many flying dinosaurs. Because
Which is
I know Jurassic World has mastodons. Because those are the ones that are like the skull looking ones, the ones that have like chomping teeth and not like beaks.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't watch the movie.
Fair enough. Um,
I just call it lizard birds.
pretty much. And anyways, Eric gets picked up
Yes.
and dropped in a nest
Well, next to
next to a nest, and all these little lizard birds,
it. Lizard bird babies.
lizard bird babies,
Say that 3 times fast.
lizard bird babies, lizard bird babies.
Yep.
Yep, not happening.
They start going after Eric, and I'm over here thinking like, just kick him. Just kick him.
He does once and it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, don't kick him. They'll gang up on you.
And then Billy's like, "Oh man!" And then he like runs up to the top, and Alan's like, "What are you doing, man?" And Alan sees him putting the sail on. He's like, "Billy, don't!"
He's fastening the sail
Yeah,
because he always had it on after they got it.
yeah. And then he like goes full hero mode and just floats around Eric, and he's like, "Jump!" And he grabs onto Billy's leg, and then he just like drop, and he falls into the water.
And when he drops Eric, like 3 lizard birds are right behind him,
Yeah.
tearing at the sail.
Mm-hmm.
So that
And-
didn't last long.
And then Billy like slams into a cliff.
Which
And-
he's a champ for not being like, oh my arm. No, he just bounced and he's like, oh God, what do I do next?
And then he drops. And at this point, Alan, Paul, and Amanda are being chased by a big bird.
Yeah. So right now before Billy drops into the water, Paul, Amanda, and Grant are being chased by one separate bird that split off from Billy. They get kind of stuck in this tunnel and it collapses.
And then all of them fall in the water, and then the bird falls, and then the cage falls on the bird,
Yes.
pretty much like breaking its arms.
And even if it didn't break its arms, it probably wouldn't be able to leave
Probably not.
because, like, it's tall, but sideways, how it was positioned, there's no way it could spread its wings enough.
Nope. Not at all.
Anyway, now Billy falls into the water.
And Alan and
Paul.
Paul are like, "We'll go get him." And
And
at this point, all the birds are starting to attack him, and he's like, "Just get away from me." And then we see Billy going downstream, and then all we see is just red. Vacation or
Actually,
staycation?
yeah. No, you're right. That was a vacation.
You're right. It was a vacation.
So
Sorry, Billy.
I apologize.
You earned your vacation, Billy. You
I,
redeemed yourself.
I do apologize. I thought it was only 6.
Poor Billy.
Anyway,
Wait, we get to the boat.
yeah. At this point, Amanda and Eric are running through the front gates pretty much.
Yes.
Whereas Paul and Grant are
At this-
swimming
yeah,
underneath. The birds don't like that.
No.
They start all fluttering against the cage like right above the water.
And you're like, curses, water.
I wish we could swim.
No. And
But-
then, so like this gate opens, and it doesn't really lead to anything else after that. Really,
No.
It-
Like
it's open for insinuations like, is it the raptors or is it a bird or whatever? But it never really like gets paid off.
no.
But anyways, they're on the boat, and Alan is trying to contact someone with. No,
Yeah, not yet.
they hear the satellite phone.
After finding some brachiosaurus.
Yes, we have a classic.
A nice moment for once.
Yes, a classic doo 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 brachiosaurus thing.
Yeah, just stop right there.
Pretty much they know what we're talking about. Pretty much, who's seen anything Jurassic Park, you know what we're talking about. and they hear the satellite phone, and all they see is 5 gigantic piles of dinosaur crap,
Yeah.
steaming, wet.
Stop describing it, or I'm going to throw my notes at you.
Anywho, Alan says, "Quick, find it before it stops ringing." And so now everybody's just like arm deep in dinosaur crap
Everyone except Eric.
because he's just like, "No
Ew.
thanks."
And
and
so,
and they find it, and all of a sudden, like, doesn't Alan like hold it up to his face or
yeah,
something?
like, still covered in dino dung. He just holds it up to his face. Hello? Hello? Hi, would you like an extended car warranty? Like, that's what the call was.
And then they all of a sudden they see I'm not sure what it is. It's like a
It's
little T-Rex with horns.
like, I know what it is. The best way I can describe it is a smaller T Rex, even smaller arms with a red head and face with two tiny horns.
Yeah.
And they were, from what I remember, they were more like blunt force chargers
Yes.
that would use their heads and the little spikes as like piercing.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much the dung covers their everything.
Yeah,
Pretty
because
much it's the predator's mud.
yeah, which thinking about it, Eric should not still be alive. He didn't touch any of it. Maybe it's just because he was around it.
It just didn't want anything to do with the smelly crap.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways, it's now pouring rain on the river.
Yes,
Everybody's clean. Thank God.
somehow.
Water. They probably just did like deep baths in the water.
Oh,
Poor
probably.
Eric let him back on the boat. It's like, no dino crap on this boat.
There's still a bit on your elbow. I've scrubbed it 3 times. Scrub again.
And then 2 more times after that. And so Alan's pretty much like, who should I call? Who should I call? He's like,
Ellie.
I thought I called Ghostbusters.
No, not yet.
Well, that was probably his next call. Anywho,
So he calls Ellie.
and Charlie answers the phone.
And
He's like, hello?
Charlie, like we said, is like 3 or 4. And he's just, hello? Charlie! Charlie, where's your mom? It's Dinosaur Man!
He's like, okay.
And he goes to find his mom. And he gets distracted by, wouldn't you know it,
Barney.
the dinosaur.
And then Ellie comes back. No. At this point, the Spinosaurus attacks the boat.
Yes, and this is the first and last scene we see of its aquatic side.
Yes. Because it pretty much does Jaws.
Without the music,
Yeah.
but
And then it attacks and pretty much like knocks them side to side. And this boat has a cage in it.
I want to say it's like a shrimp boat, fishing boat.
I'm not sure. I know it's to protect the people on the boat from dinosaurs.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure that's what this cage is for.
Mm.
And anyways, they get inside and then they lose the phone. It's sliding back and forth on the boat.
Yeah.
And Ellie calls Alan back and he finds the phone. And just then the cage is knocked into the water off the boat. And Alan just says, the river, site B, the river. And then the phone gets lost.
In the water
Yeah. And
with
then,
everyone else.
yeah. And then Ellie's like, I know exactly what that means.
I would be so confused if I was her. I'd be like, the river. Take B. What? But it's at this point that the Spino starts doing like a bobbing for apples,
Yeah.
just with his hand instead.
He's like, come here, you little munchkins.
And isn't Paul is the only one that's able to get out, right?
Paul and Eric get out,
Okay.
but Paul swims off to a crane in order to distract the Spinosaurus.
Yes.
Amanda gets out and gets with Eric, and Alan goes back underneath the water and gets a flare gun.
Yes. And this is because once the Spino attacked, it ruptured the fuel tank.
Yes. And and so at this point, Paul is pretty much waving his arms and yelling at the top of the crane.
Yes. Which
And
isn't very high.
well, I'm gonna guess the river flooded. That's gonna be my best guess. Like this, like I'm gonna assume a lot of this used to be on land, but I'm just gonna assume the many years and whatever the monsoons have just flooded this river.
Well, that Spino is standing straight up, like it's not swimming, and it's still almost reaching the top of that crane.
Maybe it's a fishing crane. Maybe then.
That's what I'm thinking.
Anywho, it's a crane in the middle of the river. Who knows?
Of the liver?
Yes, the
The
liver,
river.
the liver.
The river.
Fine, it's a river,
Thank
not
you.
a liver. Anywho, Alan shoots
The flare.
a flare into like its side or whatever.
Yes.
And then he shoots it at the water. And then
I thought it bounced off and just fell in the
he
water.
shot twice.
Okay.
He had 2 shots. And so this is pretty much like the Spinus was like, man, you guys just aren't fun anymore. And he just runs away.
I wrote this down in my notes. This is the coolest scene for me because the Spino just kind of starts screaming as the water around him catches fire with the rain still coming down.
And then it almost like in a hissy fit, it just knocks the crane over with his tail. He's like, fine, I'm not going to play with you guys anymore. And then he knocks Paul into the water. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's dead. No, he's not.
Yeah. Amanda starts having a mental breakdown. And Paul just comes out of nowhere and he's like, I'm not going anywhere.
And then they have a nice little rain hug, very 90s-esque.
And I brought this up to you. I said this reminded me of a scene from Shark Boy and Lava Girl with, like, around the end of the movie. Like, the parents are getting sucked away. One gets sucked up. I'm not going anywhere. Then immediately after, the other parent gets sucked up. Like, I'm not going anywhere. We're staying together. Yeah.
Pretty much. Then
that's who the main character of Shark Boy and Lava Girl is Eric.
Yes. And then we get back to them just in the jungle trying to get to the coast. But then the raptors reappear.
Yes.
And they're like, bruh, we want our eggs. Give us them, and we'll leave you alone. We promise we won't eat you. We won't kill you.
Or eat you.
Totally.
And the main raptor of the pack is looking at Amanda, kind of like, yo, did you take my eggs? Where they at?
You definitely smell like a female.
I can smell my eggs on you. Where they at? Come on, hand them over.
And Alan gives her the eggs, and then he realizes, like, oh my God, I have a velociraptor communication device.
I have a translator, except it's one way and not for me.
And then he just starts using it, and all the raptors are like, you just say what to me? They look like so offended.
He's just starts blowing into it, and it creates like that, like I said before, low rumble, high pitch, if that makes sense.
And then Paul says, no, call for help. And Alan's like, hey, I remember how that one guy called for help. And he did that. And they're like, what? Who needs help? What?
And so they just run off.
And then we hear helicopters. And then we get to the beach, and there's just one guy saying, Dr. Alan Grant.
And everyone just starts shouting at him, no, don't do that.
And then the Marines and the Navy arrive.
Yeah, he's like, I'm with the U.S. military.
And I told you this as a joke. I was like, could you imagine how hard it would have been to get the Navy and the Marines for a private ops mission? Especially when the war on terrorism just started.
Yeah.
Like, just started.
But this scene is extremely funny because we were joking around with it, and it's like, just imagine the Raptors come back and it's like 200 armed men with assault rifles and like aquatic tanks roll up. It's just, we're gonna head back into the jungle. Sorry to bother you guys.
No, the Raptors just pull out M16s. Like, yeah. You want to go?
They can pull them out, but they just can't shoot him.
Yeah, they don't have the thumbs. They're like, sorry, these are just show. They are not loaded.
But anyway, we find out that Ellie's husband has quite a few connections.
Yes. And we get on the helicopter, and lo and behold, Billy is back from vacation, man.
Oh, we tricked ya.
Ha ha ha
Get
ha.
pranked. Yeah, Billy. It's never said how he survived.
I'm gonna assume he just like floated down river.
Yeah, that's what I want to think. But with the birdcage still being open,
I'm gonna guess he like floated out underneath one of those things too,
that could be.
because the
That
way that river works, there's got to be multiple out points.
yeah, that's probably the most logical because you know, yeah, Billy. Anyway, Billy lives and he gives Dr. Grant his hat back.
Yep.
He's like, I found this for you.
And then we pretty much get the Kirbys reigniting their marriage.
Dr. Grant reigniting his friendship with a now full body cast Billy
And his hat.
and his hat. Yes.
And this is the end of the movie.
Well, we have the lizard birds flying away.
Yep.
Which is what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The birdcage door never fully closed, and me and you were theorizing like, is that how Billy gets out? Is that how the birds get out?
That must be how the birds got out.
That's what I want to think.
But anyway, Caden, what are your final thoughts on Jurassic Park 3?
By far my favorite movie from the Jurassic Park series.
Nice. Definitely. Yeah, I love it for different reasons. Mostly just because of like how much it's grown on me through the years of knowing it.
Right.
And I just think it has some of the stronger characters
Oh,
than
absolutely.
the other ones. Caden, it's time for our questions. I know we haven't had very many strong ones in the past couple episodes,
No.
but I feel like we're finally back. Ish. Do
Okay.
you want me to start?
No.
Okay.
If you were Alan Grant, how would you have dealt with Paul Kirby after learning about who he really is?
Like after I punched him once already,
Yes.
I probably would have got over it because there's no use in making an enemy in a survival situation.
Right. Besides, the higher numbers you have, the higher meat shields you have.
Exactly.
Because at that
But
point,
also, like, it's William H. Macy.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay. What about you?
I probably would have hit him
One more
again,
time.
like 4 more times.
Just beat him unconscious for a couple minutes. Then he can wake back up and be like, what happened?
Because, like, honestly, the only reason Alan didn't was because Amanda got in the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Do you think Billy did the right thing?
With the eggs,
Yes.
no. Like, I understand his intentions were pure. All he wanted to do was raise money for the dig site,
Yes.
but his way of going about it was wrong.
Honestly, taking the photos
Would
would
have
have
been
been the
enough.
better solution.
Oh my god, imagine getting a fight of the Spinosaurus fighting the T-Rex.
Yeah.
That would have probably made 20 times the amount of money from 2 eggs that would have cracked during the journey.
Pretty much. And that bag took a beating
Yeah.
in that movie.
It's impressive the eggs weren't cracked at the end.
Pretty much.
All right. In your opinion, who do you think had the most unfortunate death?
I would have to say Udesky.
Udesky?
Yeah. Because he was just trying to help, man.
Yeah.
And he got lured in by them sadistic raptors.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, it's more a tie between Cooper and Nash.
Mm.
Cooper was desperate to not be left behind, and Nash was desperate to not just be eaten. Yeah. And like you could see both their faces full of desperation.
Yeah.
But I think Cooper's kind of conveys that a little more,
Yeah. Definitely.
and I think it helps that he's badly beaten up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who would you call in the river situation?
like if I could call anyone and
Yes.
they'd pick up,
Yes.
the president.
Okay. Um.
I'd
I.
either call the president, or like if I was just a person and not Alan Grant, like I'd call some family member, get goodbyes out of the way.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just a guy, I'm not coming out of that.
Yeah. Not at all. Um. I would. I would probably call Carly because like feel like she'd go through hell and back to make sure I'd come back or whatever, or at least with what's in her power. um. Last question:
Okay.
if the Kirby's asked you for them to go with them under the pretenses,
That Alan and Billy were set under,
yes.
I would not go with them.
I
If they would be honest with me, I might go with
was
them.
gonna say, I would say yes if I knew they needed help looking for their son, because one, do a good deed, check a little good Samaritan off the year
The
situation.
next 10 years.
But then you're like, hey, I might do some dinosaurs. That's
But
cool.
like if they lie to me, it's like, so one,
I just want you dead now.
I'm not getting money. Two, you lied to me in landing on this island full of dangerous monsters. And three, I'm not getting money.
Yeah. You get a free remodel, potentially. Never confirmed.
Yeah,
All right, Caden. We have come to the end of this week's journey.
of course.
What is next week's episode?
That's a very good question. I don't know. It is your movie. I do know, but it's still your movie. What's the movie?
Oh,
It's
how,
got to be something bright.
how tricky be you? It's like a shining star, man. No matter who you are. I'm just kidding. It's The Shining, everybody. With Stanley Kubrick directing this famous horror movie
Oh yeah,
with Jack Nicholson in like one of his best acting roles ever.
because I think this is. I think this is one of the most well-known horror movies out there, or
Mhm.
just one of.
Yeah. And like, I
'Cause
can't wait to talk about the production for this one because there is some stuff that went down on that set, man.
You're gonna have to summarize it.
Oof.
I'd start working on that now.
Just one sentence. Lots of uh verbal abuse. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, everybody. We cannot wait to see you guys next week. Make sure you remember to hit that follow button. Don't forget to just leave a nice comment or tell us what we're doing wrong. We like criticism. Just don't make us cry. We are sensitive.
Or do. We'll get over it.
Potentially.
We're adults here.
That's what the therapy bill is for. And hit the notification bell so you can get all of our content as soon as it comes out.
Before we do that, I would like to say thank you all for joining us for this. This movie marks the little over 3/4 way through
Yep.
our first season.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't come a long way, but we have steadily made progress.
Yes.
And from the bottom of our hearts, we would like to thank both of you for we both would like to thank all of you for joining us through this first season.
Yeah.
And
It's been a rough first season.
the first half, it was out there, but we got better at it, and we personally strive to only get better from here forth.
Yeah. Like, production of this show started back in November of 2024.
Yes.
It was rough.
we were struggling to save our files. We were struggling to get rid of the echo.
Mm-hmm.
There was just so much stuff going on.
So we pretty
And
much had to like
our
quit.
contradicting schedules at work
Yeah.
didn't really help either.
So we pretty much quit for 2 or 3 months,
Yes.
and then we came back and regrouped. It's like, hey, we need to do this.
Yes. We, within like the first 3 days we came back into it, we recorded 5 or 6 episodes all within one day.
Mm-hmm.
We watched 2 movies back to back, and we did another 2 recordings the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, we've come quite a ways, and we know there's still a lot more to go for.
Oh, yeah.
But we just want to thank you all for being here for us,
Especially,
listening to our stupidity
Yeah.
at its finest.
and like, we want you guys to know we do put our heart and soul into this.
Yes, it may not seem like it, but we really are. We're giving this our all, as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. And this was first season for this and the upcoming Horrify show, which is just started production last week or the week before. Like, season 2s of both of those will be much smoother. Just 2025, just a crazy year for us.
There's a lot going on, but we truly do appreciate you all for your patience, your understanding. We appreciate you all for giving us your thoughts and concerns, how we can be doing better.
And just your time.
Yes, because I know personally that these podcasts are going on for quite some time, and me personally, and Logan,
Mhm.
from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate you listening to them.
And we do know that there are thousands of other podcasts like this.
But it means a lot to us that you picked ours.
Yeah. It's like, we're nobody special. We're not getting invitations to like film openings or film festivals or any of this crap.
No,
We're
we're just doing what we love.
And please make sure you follow everything Real Discussions does. And we are excited for Horrify because that's a little bit more of an adult show.
Yes.
While it is talking about more darker subject matter or whatever, we cut a little bit more loose on that show.
Yeah. And I will give you guys a heads up. I will not be playing as big of a part in that one.
You will be there for at least one episode.
Yes, but I will not be the main co-host.
But as the part of the Real Discussions team, we are always in communication with each other.
Yes.
And we just cannot wait for the future of what we're going to do, because there are lots of bright things we want to do, and we just cannot wait for all of them to come to fruition.
Could I say something real quick?
That's fine.
We always say at the end of the videos that if you could like, follow, leave a comment. To us, or to me, that doesn't matter as long as they're able to bring a smile to your face, brighten up your day a little bit, or just have a couple hours pass by without you noticing.
Yeah.
That means the world to me that we are able to do that for some people.
Yeah, especially for Monday, man.
Yes.
I feel like some people need it on Mondays.
Oh, absolutely. That is the most
especially
boring
me,
part.
man. Like when I get to my working by myself part, I just turn on podcasts because my coworker hates them. It's like, you know what? Music's great and all, but like I just need to turn my brain off and just absorb knowledge or whatever, or just nonsense.
Yeah. But again, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate you all for being here with us.
Yes, and thank you.
Yes. Now, to finish this episode once and for all,
I'm Logan Thomas,
I'm Caden Green.
and together we are
The Real Bros.
See you guys next week.
Have a good one.